War in Ukraine. Key events of July 17, 2024. Good evening, and welcome to today's detailed and comprehensive report on the critical events unfolding in Ukraine on July 17, 2024. This day marks significant military, political, and economic developments that are shaping the trajectory of the ongoing conflict and its wider impact on the region. Let's delve into these events, dissect their implications, and understand the broader context in which they are occurring. In the early hours of July 17th, Ukrainian forces launched a series of drone attacks targeting the Kursk region of Russia. These strikes triggered a fire at a factory producing electrical devices, resulting in several injuries among the local population. This aggressive move underscores Ukraine's strategy of extending the battlefield into Russian territory, aiming to disrupt the Russian war machine and demonstrate its capability to strike deep within enemy lines. The Russian Ministry of Defense reported the destruction of 13 Ukrainian drones overnight, highlighting the intensity of the aerial confrontations. This exchange not only emphasizes the escalating use of drone warfare in the conflict, but also marks a significant shift in tactics as both sides leverage technology to gain an upper hand. In response to relentless Ukrainian shelling, Russian authorities announced stringent restrictions on civilian access to 14 villages in the southern Belgorod region. These measures, intended to protect civilians from the ongoing threat, are indicative of the escalating security concerns within Russian borders. Only adult men, equipped with armored vehicles and protective gear, are permitted entry into these areas. This unprecedented step points to the severity of the situation and the difficulties faced by Russian authorities in safeguarding their territories. The impact of these restrictions on civilian life is profound. With financial incentives offered for relocation, there is a potential for significant displacement of the population, effectively turning these villages into militarized zones. This situation not only highlights the direct impact of the war on civilians, but also the broader strategic challenges for Russia in maintaining control over its border regions while continuing offensive operations in Ukraine. Valery Gerasimov, chief of Russia's general staff, publicly acknowledged the efforts of Russian forces in capturing the village of Urozhaine in Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region. This capture represents a strategic gain for Russia, consolidating its control over key territories and disrupting Ukrainian defensive lines. The significance of this victory is twofold. It boosts the morale of Russian troops and provides a tangible symbol of progress in an otherwise grinding and attritional conflict. In a rare moment of cooperation amidst the hostilities, Russia and Ukraine agreed to exchange 90 prisoners of war, facilitated by the United Arab Emirates. Such exchanges are critical for maintaining some semblance of humanitarian norms within the brutal landscape of war. They offer a glimmer of hope for the families of those captured and underscore the ongoing efforts by neutral parties to mediate and de-escalate tensions where possible. Ukraine's parliament took a decisive step to address the country's energy crisis exacerbated by the conflict. By voting to scrap taxes and duties on imports of energy equipment, including for wind and solar generation, Ukraine aims to bolster its energy infrastructure. The legislation, which will remain effective until the end of martial law or until January 1, 2026, covers a wide range of equipment essential for both military and civilian energy needs. This move is crucial for several reasons. Firstly, it reduces the cost of importing vital energy equipment, facilitating quicker implementation of renewable energy projects. Secondly, it aligns with Ukraine's long-term goal of increasing energy independence and security, particularly by reducing reliance on Russian fossil fuels. Lastly, this initiative supports the country's post-war reconstruction efforts by modernizing its energy infrastructure and fostering economic resilience. A strategic partnership between Ukraine's state company Ukroboronservice and Czech ammunition maker Cellier and Below was formalized to build an ammunition factory in Ukraine. This factory will significantly enhance Ukraine's domestic production capabilities, ensuring a steady and reliable supply of ammunition essential for sustaining military operations. The collaboration includes technology transfer agreements, further bolstering Ukraine's defense manufacturing sector. The establishment of this factory has several key implications. Economically, it will create jobs and stimulate industrial growth in the region. Strategically, it will increase Ukraine's self-sufficiency in defense production, reducing dependency on foreign supplies and enhancing resilience against supply chain disruptions. Geopolitically, it strengthens ties between Ukraine and the Czech Republic, reflecting broader support from European nations and aligning with Ukraine's integration efforts with the EU and NATO. President Volodymyr Zelensky's invitation to a future peace summit was met with cautious response from the Kremlin. Dmitry Peskov, the Kremlin spokesman, emphasized the need for clarity regarding the nature and objectives of the proposed summit. This cautious stance reflects Russia's skepticism and strategic calculations, given past experiences where similar gatherings did not include Russia or align with its interests. The Kremlin's reaction highlights the complexities of organizing effective peace negotiations. Mutual distrust and differing objectives between the two nations continue to pose significant challenges. Russia's participation in any peace talks would require assurances that its viewpoints and conditions are adequately considered, a contentious issue in previous diplomatic efforts. In a move signaling deeper estrangement from Russian influence, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania formally notified Russia and Belarus of their intent to exit the 2001 agreement that kept the Baltic states in a common power grid with Russia. This decision is part of a broader strategy to integrate more closely with the European energy market, enhancing their energy security and independence from Russian control. The events of July 17, 2024, illustrate the multifaceted and dynamic nature of the conflict in Ukraine. From aggressive military actions and strategic territorial gains to significant legislative measures and international diplomatic maneuvers, the day encapsulated the ongoing intensity and complexity of the war. Each development carries profound implications for the future of the conflict and the broader geopolitical landscape. As the war continues into its 873rd day, the resilience and adaptability of both Ukraine and Russia are continually tested. The international community watches closely, with each event shaping the course of the conflict and the potential paths toward resolution. Stay tuned for further updates as we continue to cover these critical developments. Thank you for joining us on this comprehensive journey through the key events of the Ukraine war.